What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Formula 4 lap guide. This week we are from Hockenheim, and it takes so much attention to detail to be fast around here. Normally, when I do an F4 lap guide, it takes me about 30 to 40 minutes of small tweaks to put in a fast lap. But here at Hockenheim, it honestly took me an hour and a half of drastic changes to my braking points, line, and even overall mentality to finally put in a lap that I was happy with. So let me walk you through a lap and show you all of the fine details it takes to put in a hot lap around Hockenheim. Coming across the line to start our fast lap, and we're already almost into turn 1, which is a really fast right-hander. The key to this corner is trail braking all the way into the apex to help rotate the car through the corner. So right about here, we're lifting off the throttle, turning in, and just barely grazing the brake all at the same time. As you can see, it's very slight brake pressure though, just to rotate the car into the apex. Missing that apex curbing on the right, but we're hard on the throttle, using all of the exit curbing as we come down the straight, leaving it in 5th gear, heading into a critical right-left complex. It leads onto a long straight, so we want to get a great exit, but I found that when I was too aggressive on the throttle, I would run wide on the right-hander and lose time down the straight. So it's a really hard brake right at the start of this access road on the left. Look at that, really hard brake, 100% brake pressure, down into 3rd gear, and we're trail braking all the way into the apex. So important again to use that trail brake to help rotate the car into the corner. And we're just waiting a fraction of a second to get on that throttle, but we're hard on the throttle by the time we hit the apex. In 3rd gear, not running all the way out to the left, but immediately turning into this left-hander. 3rd gear, 4th gear, not tracking out all the way, trying to save some distance, trying to save some time. We're on a long straight now. Let's take a deep breath. Heading into a hairpin right-hander. I've gone between using 1st and 2nd gear in this hairpin. Some laps I think 2nd gear is faster, sometimes I think it's 1st gear. You can really go either way. We're braking right in between this green access road and the 100-meter board on the left. Really hard brake again, and as we get into 2nd gear, we begin to slowly turn the car into the apex. But be very sure that as we're braking a straight line, we're not turning the steering wheel, because it's so easy to lock up if you do that. Again, trail braking all the way into the apex, a really late downshift into 1st gear. Trail braking all the way into the apex, but as soon as we get to the apex, we are flat, hard on the throttle, shifting up early into 2nd gear, using all of the road on the exit, actually putting those left side tires up on the curbing there, maximizing the track width, maximizing our exit speed, coming through a flat right-hander, super easy flat, coming into a left-right complex that's very similar to the right-left complex we just went through. Again, we want to maximize the exit speed and maximize our apex speed through this left-hander. So we're braking right before the start of this access road on the right, down into 3rd gear, and the car gets very unstable at this apex. So we're being gentle with our release of the brake and actually slightly gentle with our application of the throttle. So a very gentle release. We're not quite at full throttle. We actually get a little kick of oversteer. You see I'm having to correct right there, that oversteer. But then we collect it again, get hard on the throttle, not quite tracking out all the way to this curbing on the right, bringing the car back to the middle of the road, and a really early turn of this right-hander to make sure we don't understeer through it. But it's easy flat through there, coming into a really fast right-hander. I don't have a great reference for this right-hander, so I'm just turning in right about here, lifting off the throttle as we turn in, and then just barely slightly applying the brakes to help rotate the car through the apex. Flat on the throttle through the apex, tracking out all the way. The car will bottom out through that right-hander, so you have to be careful with that. Coming into a really fast hairpin left-hander. It's banked at the apex though, so we actually want to leave the car slightly off the apex to maximize our speed through the corner. Braking just at the change in pavement, down into 3rd gear, and I'm slowly turning my hands in. I'll show this again. Slowly turning my hands into the apex. I found it really easy for me to turn in too early, apex too early, and then not use all that banking and grip through the mid-corner. So we're slowly turning in, and then hard on the gas through the apex, using all of the road on the exit, keeping it tight to the left here, setting up the final 2 corners of the track, but really a double apex right-hander. Just at the bottom of this hill, we're lifting off the throttle and just barely grazing the brake, very similar to the fast right-hander we just took. Right about here, we're hard on the throttle again, making sure to miss this curbing on the left, because that will ruin your lap if you hit that curbing. And then just a slight lift as we get to the apex, trying to keep that nose in. You can probably take it flat, but I just barely couldn't there. Using all of the road on the exit, and we come across the line to finish our final lap guide of the season. Thank you guys so much for joining me this season. As I said, I really appreciate all the love and support, and I really appreciate you guys. It's been such a blast for me this season in the F4, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week of racing. I hope it's been a great season of racing, and I'll see you guys next time.